And hello and welcome back to Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So, this is actually post putting up the first episode now. So all that stuff you heard before then, pre-first episode going up on YouTube. Which is weird for me because I usually am maybe a couple episodes behind. In this case, it's probably... I haven't edited everything yet. I'm done with chapter 1 and that's on episode 7. Probably going to end up being 12, 14 episodes. So it's interesting hearing some of the takes that I had previously going through the editing. I didn't take a ton away. I do feel less convinced after editing chapter 1 that there is necessarily a reincarnation of previous characters thing going on. I am less convinced of that at the very least. So it is interesting hearing people correct me on something that I got, like, in the stuff I've already edited, even. Like, yes, 1 term is 1 year. Very true. And I'm not saying you shouldn't correct me on stuff and whatnot, just keep in mind, I'm probably well ahead. And for some games in the future that aren't as, like, a big, long JRPG, I'll probably be done with the game by the time that's mentioned. Just because of how I want to do this, where I just play it at my pace and then I go through the whole editing process. Because I'm at a point where I don't care about chasing views, basically. I don't care about chasing likes, views, whatever. I just want to play the game and share it. So I don't need to have things out ASAP, ASAP, ASAP. Which is part of why I decided, okay, I'll do it this way. Because I got to a point where it's like, if I'm not going to post anything, then I'm not going to get views anyways. So I stopped really caring, because I wasn't really in a big view-chasing element on the channel before. Like, I didn't play the newest games, usually. But I did typically, when a new game came out that I wanted to play, Trails, Xenoblade, like, if I was in the previous day, I would have been playing this and had an episode out day 1 or 2, basically. And that's not a bad thing. Just, this makes more sense for me now and all that sort of fun stuff. That said, the other thing I did... since the last time I opened up the game, was I curiously did decide to go back and look at a few visuals from Future Connected. A couple observations from that. One, the fog in that is very similar to how the fog in this is set up, visually, including like the little particle effects too, which look like people dying and whatnot, so that's interesting. The other thing I noticed was that the fog, like, end boss, and FYI, I only looked at the visuals of this, like, one scene where it showed, like, 2 monsters with the effect on them with the fog, and then, like, the end boss from that. The Fog King, Fog Boss, or whatever it was in that, looked not exactly the same, but eerily similar to how What's-Her-Face saw us when her, like, perception of the world was getting messed with, which makes a really interesting concept. If all that fog stuff was maybe their perception getting fucked with in Future Connected, wouldn't that be really interesting? And they were fighting something they just straight up did not perceive correctly. Like, could have been a good guy or even something like that. They could have sown their own fate going forward by defeating something maybe they shouldn't have. Or maybe I'm completely wrong, but it's a really interesting thought now, isn't it? The other observation that I want to make, or speculation I want to make out of those observations, is I sort of get the feeling, because we see a lot of stuff about the fog interfering with stuff. It feels like, especially if the fog is related to, like, not perceiving stuff correctly, especially since if I remember correctly, we were in a fog-like area, but that guy in the Mobius form was like, I can't see anything, there's so much goddamn fog. And, like, we went to his view and it was, like, completely obscured. Versus, like, the actual cinematic stuff where, no, it wasn't completely obscured. So that was interesting. So my thought process on there is, the fog is basically just straight up an outside element, maybe, that we're not perceiving correctly, maybe? If we ever see anyone show up being, like, influenced by the fog and whatnot, Because there's no way that's not going to come up. That fog seems so goddamn relevant. Like, maybe we're stuck in a specific area, like an area of the world's been cordoned off for this, and the fog is an outside element coming in and trying to, and we're just perceiving it as fog, or we're perceiving it as something else, etc., etc. So, yeah. I guess the one thing I can say about the visuals of the fog having like those little particle effects that we associate with life energy here, which is ether basically, is that it's probably ether to some extent. I mean, everything's ether to some extent, but I could imagine it having life energy to it basically, right? So, let's go. Also, the fact that I wasn't sure there's chapters yet, here I have the save screen with a bunch of chapter notes.
We've endured the fierce fighting at Colony 4. And learned that the consuls and Mobius are one and the same. Truths we took for granted continue to crumble at our feet. We have spent so long blindly walking the path set before us without question. But we are more curious now, of our future selves, of our purpose.
So, split into 3 units, our main troops go wide, and first to make contact withdraws? What are you, a coward?
What was that?
Huh?
I asked you what you said. You think I'm scared, is that it? I'll have you know my plan is textbook.
Drop it, Tyon.
Let go! Colony 13 is a complete enigma. Our data is incomplete.
It's just way too cautious, you clod. It's tedious and it's dull. Can you see that? If we don't eat now, we'll starve. We don't have the time to mess around.
What does...
Look, Tyche boy. I mean, we're Iron Lambda, yeah? The colony led by Commander Izzard. And this is some no-name backwater. We hit from the side, and we hit hard. Am I wrong? What we need is momentum. Gotta play hard to win big.
He might be the character I relate to most in the entire series at the moment.
Right, I see. One team draws the sentries away, then the main force can strike en masse, where the flank will be left loosely defended. Seems optimal. Is that right, Tyon?
Huh? Yes. Correct.
All right. If that's your opinion, we'll approve it. Yes, Izzard?
Yes. If you say it'll work, I trust you. Happy, Tyon?
Yes.
Commander, strategist. It's almost time. The new consul should be arriving from the castle soon.
Of course. On my way.
My, that time already.
Nimue, why are you still using that gizmo?
Now that's not very polite, Izzard. This mechanical gizmo is much more precise than the iris clock. And unaffected by the black fog. Right, Tyon?
Huh? Right.
Oh, the thing I brought up before about the black fog, like it being an outside element, that's my theory on the sword, too. Why it's not, why it's capable of destroying something that's supposed to be indestructible? Why it's able to cut through these things? Because it's an outside element, and it's sort of breaking the rules of the world we're in, that sort of thing. That's my theory on that at the moment. I've obviously had more time to think about little random things. I don't know if I brought that up before, but it's been a little bit since I played last.
I can't see a thing! Sergeant! Where are you? Sergeant!
What? What's going on?
Does their deaths create light sources for people to see more clearly? No, I guess not much of a light sources if they do. Like the little sparkly ether coming up.
There should be an exit through the southern water vein. Head straight for that.
And you, ma'am?
We'll hold the line here, keep them occupied.
Begging your pardon, that's idiocy and certain death.
Tyon,
You can't.
you all still have a future. Until the day of your homecoming, please just live. And here,
I couldn't. I won't. Don't do this, ma'am.
listen. I need you to live, Tyon. You must. Flee for the colony.
Tyon, get moving! Hurry!
How can I?
Tyon!
Ma'am! Ma'am! Nimue!
Hey, we haven't seen her die. Maybe she's out there still. That didn't seem that many years ago.
Shouldn't have put so much stock in your irises, Kay. That is what you get. It's just bad luck. The plan was sound. If not for the black fog. It's all about the skin feel. You've only got eyes up front. That's why Kay lost. Sounds, the air, breathing. When you can feel all that, you don't need the iris.
And for all that, you still slunk back, tail between legs. Are you forgetting that fact?
He's awful forgetful, isn't he? So, I'm still breathing, and I had a ball with them kids, right until I had to scarp her.
Excuses a penny.
What are you implying?
Excuse me? Is this a private party or can I interject? I was thinking I might head out alone next. Is that allowed?
You want to see with your own iris, eh?
Pretty much. Plus there's Izzard and Colony Lambda, right? It'll be an extremely amusing situation, don't you think? Yeah, we'll have fun, I'm sure.
How many of them are there? I was almost wondering if that guy was going to come and it's like, I'm the new K, like he got replaced or something. Like immediately. Oh, look, you died. We got a new one. Then again, my other thought about the infinity side on them and us being more of a cycle wouldn't fit that too well, would it? Morning, everyone. Got word from Etho a little while ago. There is something she wants to tell us, and we should go to the council room to hear it. Right, well, we should say thanks for this tent, at least. Okay, let's go see what Etho has to say, then. Shut points. Interesting. So, where are we? Like, world-wise? To the south, basically? How far off are we from a... Oh, we're not far off at all from Oh, they basically sat down near here? Oh, okay, so it's just a place we've been. Got it. Okay. I didn't realize they basically come out right where we were. Wow, small world, right? I didn't think about that. One of them was just talking about how we smashed their flame cloak. Yeah, that's their flame cloak, too. It's on this thing, too, right? So how does that work? They keep saying that the flame cloak is, like, something they need to live. Does that mean they're gonna run out of, like, life soon? We haven't seen anything to indicate that, they have any reliance on all that. Like, I haven't seen a time someone's gone and, like, gained something from the flame cloak. We've heard about stuff like Noah saying his flame cloak, and I'm not sure if it's his personal flame cloak was notable. There's also that mechanic at the very beginning where, like, we became less powerful, and they sort of threw that away pretty quickly, which is interesting. They had an entire mechanic just for that. Okay. And that's time... Oh. I saw this and I thought that I'd probably be able to level up off of it. What did I... What level did I get to off that? Okay, that did get me a level up. Cool, 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 cool.
Getting late.
It was like basically... It wasn't as, to the... We just went out and spent all day. We want to talk to you in the conference room. Well, I'm just gonna go fight a monster all day. Thank you very much. Yeah, I just thought that might be a good, easy experience. It was similarly as long as a normal boss battle, but it did in fact seem to calm down after that.
4 is certainly quick to accept things.
Didn't push me as bad. It didn't push me as much into a corner.
I knew Ethel's lot was sturdy, but...
You lot sleep all right?
Yeah, like a log. Thanks for the room. You cleaned it out just for us.
Don't sweat it. Just a token from us higher-ups. My iris's clock. I couldn't quite believe it. So I went outside and hunted down a Hox as a test.
And?
Didn't get snuffle. The flame clock didn't show, and neither did any motes. Looks like it's real.
Yeah. We were baffled too, at first.
Anyway, we're all thankful to you. Flame clocks don't work so good when you're dirt. Hated having to worry about when my number might be up.
Wait, dirt? I thought Ethel's rank was silver. It was when she saved our hides, wasn't it?
So, it's legitimately the connection to the flame clock that makes them dependent on it? I guess I haven't seen anything outside of them saying that they were dependent on it, and given that this world seems to be based on a, well, we're being lied to constantly, I could very easily see the flame clock just being a, well, if that number goes down, you're fucked, and no one, having never lived past 10 years, being able to actually do more than say, yep, that's what they say. Don't let it get down to 0.
Well, stuff happens. Kamaravi. Heard of him? Call him the Smouldering. The greatest warrior in all of Agnes. And a commander loves to spar with the guy.
I know him. They say his spear technique is unparalleled. That, and he's an ace for honest pilot. Wow. So Kamaravi and Ethel were rivals.
That's right. We fought against him who knows how many times now. Took our share of damage, but then so did they. At one time, one of his Feronis' knee joints blew clean out. Most likely it was a failure of maintenance. The commander could have ended it then and there.
By their nature, they should be, shouldn't they?
But no.
Telling other people's tales again? Not very endearing. Cut it out.
Commander! Apologies, Mom.
I'm joking.
Ethel?
It became a tremendous scandal. The castle stripped our colony of our silver rank, demoting us to dirt. But look. They were made the lowest of the low, and still they chose to stick by me, even though it meant having to live day to day. That is why I must prevail over him.
Huh? But you're...
Free from the yoke of the flame clock, yes, certainly. However, this is another matter.
What is it about then?
Hunger, pride, desire, joy maybe. It's a little hard to put into words, but something along those lines. I haven't all the time in the world, and my troops understand this full well. For me, well, all of us, really. A rematch with Kamaravi is everything. And that will give purpose to the remainder of our lives.
A purpose to life.
Right, okay. On an emotional level, I could understand.
Wow, really?
I didn't say I agreed. I just see her point of view, that's all.
That's all you can ask.
All right now, let's put a pin in the philosophizing. When we talked last night, you said your destination was Sword March, as I recall.
Right.
Come along.
You gonna help us get there? Okay. Ooh, I see containers I can probably steal. Yep, here, okay. Look the part.
This right here is Sword March. Well, that part is common knowledge, I suppose. To get there, you have a few possible routes. Mainly the northern and the southern. And then, the direct route cutting through the ocean vortex.
You don't say. That works.
Nobody's done it before.
Such a tease.
You can try to approach it from sea or from air. But as soon as you're close to it, you'll end up being ripped to shreds. Trust me, it's not just the waves and the wind. We believe there's some other force at play there. And so, through elimination then, these two.
Okay. I mean, that's basically a Chekhov's gun, right? Let me guess, that's where so-and-so council people are hanging out. That's the obvious guess, at least.
Quite frankly, I wouldn't advise going north.
Why's that?
The road's dangerous, and it runs right past Agnes Castle territory. You'd have a hard time getting through.
Tyan, turns out you were right.
As always.
Additionally, you are Ouroboros. If you face another colony, you may find the same thing happening as did with us.
I'd feel safe betting on it.
If you go south, the battle lines are relatively fixed. If you can proceed along this route, you'll get there in about 2 months.
What?
2 months.
How long have we been at it already?
But
But there's more?
even if you reach the sword, this city, yes? It's hard to believe you would find it there. It seems far-fetched.
How so?
Once, we had to advance across this region ourselves. It was empty. Nothing but the sword piercing the landscape. And then, there's that word you mentioned, city. What could that possibly mean? Is it a person? Or a thing?
Really? Huh. More and more does this world feel like a board game. The main base is the castle. Like two sides trying to take a castle. Like it feel, or like a multiplayer mode in a video game. What's a city? Imagine asking like a multiplayer grunt soldier or something that's playing like Capture the Flag in a multiplayer video game. You know what a city is? And they're just like, a city? What are you talking about?
When Guernica talked about it, it sounded kind of like a colony?
I was pretty sure it was an object.
Will you still go there, regardless?
Yeah. That was the idea. For a chance to live on.
Not like we have any better ideas.
Then there's no more to say. Boliaris.
Mom?
Our guests will be leaving soon. Let's give them any assistance we can.
No worries.
Feel free to use the facilities here at your leisure. Get ready for what's ahead.
Sure. That was the plan. Yeah, I think just being Agnes alone would.
Mimi? Relax. We're just doing what Ethel said. Just using the facilities at our leisure. You have to eat, else you won't grow. It's just... Don't let them get to you. Yeah?
Hey.
What is this?
It used to belong to my friend. He always wore it till last year. Yes, he died, fighting against Colony Psi. You animals killed him. Shot him right here. Clean through.
You're wrong. We're actually from Colony Mimi, what?
If that's what you want, go ahead and shoot. It's not like I'm a hard target.
Now we're talking. Oh, what? You're nearly done anyway. Well, then keep your lousy embers. Die today or in 3 months' time. Not much difference. Just mind you don't get poisoned before your time's up.
What a jerk. So uncalled for.
Senna, it's fine. He was right. We did kill people. Maybe not his friend, but certainly others.
It goes both ways.
We had no choice. If we hadn't have, we'd be goners.
We had no choice. Yeah, that was clear until now. But not anymore. Right?
Uh-huh.
There's a chance we can make amends. Even if we're misunderstood.
On the house. Eat your fill, friend.
Huh?
We're dirt rank, remember? Life ain't easy here. But you did help. Besides, you gave us a choice. The choice not to fight. Now, we won't have to take others' lives. I've wished for this. And you made it true. Thanks for that.
Reminds me of Noah. That attitude of not really wanting to take lives, but being sort of forced into it and actually pressured into it because there's not another choice, right? Versus someone like Lance who, while wasn't given the choice, gladly took it up on the base, on whatever motivations he was provided. Perhaps with a different perspective, he's chosen otherwise now. And realistically, he was even sort of forced into this choice, right? But yeah, that's what I mean. What now? The southward route is currently blocked by rockfall. I estimate that clearing it will take some time. I guess we'll just have to wait till it's done. Not by us, I guess. Guys, can I say something? Sounds heavy. I've been thinking, and I think there might be something else we could try. You remember Colony 4? It's hardly your responsibility. Tyon, it's not quite like that. I mean, if I see someone in trouble, I just want to help them. Maybe it's not a sense of responsibility exactly, it's more like a natural reaction. Oh, you feel that even for a former enemy? That's how I feel about it. Right now, at least. Me? Heart's big enough for everyone to have a slice. Okay, well, no time like the present. Let's do something to help. Yeah, why not? You helped us out way back after all. Oh my goodness, is this going to turn into do side quests until you... Oh no. Oh no. It's going to be this thing again. Oh no. No! This is the worst thing the series does, by far. Grind the story to a freaking halt for just tells you to do other stuff now. So what are we going to do to help? Intelligence gathering. Yep. Go talk and ask questions. Worried about helping the bad guys, so they for that love. Anyway, if anyone tries to stir the pot again, we'll just bun them over Levnis, right? By we, I mean lands, obviously. I like to call Ixnay on the punting if it's not too much bother. I'm afraid it would get quite messy. Just a figure of speech, mate. I won't actually kick them. I'll throw them. Also, do any of you even know... How do you guys know what punting is? If you don't know what a city is, do you play football? Is punting a thing in other sports? Because the only sport I'm aware of it is football. The proper football, mind you. And I'll let you decide which one that is. Oh. You'll find so-and-so icons. Look near them for info that could be useful on your travels. Be sure to check anytime you may find them. Okay. I'll be out and about then. Oh, what'll happen? Nothing. Why is there a big thing on the fucking map? God damn it! Why is there a big thing on the map that leads me from there to there? God damn it. Whatever. Oh!
I don't
oh
think
my
the team
fucking
were able
goodness.
to respond in time.
Yeah, if this carries on, the wound will just keep piling up higher and higher.
Yeah, so they're not handling it currently. I didn't know I had to, like, listen to it for an extended period of time because there's multiple sets, I guess. Yeah. Proper welcome. Lack of personnel. It's been bad since rank, not enough medical supplies. So what can we do to help? Listen to people's conversations on your travels and inquire info fragments. Once you find enough, they can be discussed with fellow party members at rest stops. Okay, so basically you get info and then you go to a rest stop to initiate a quest, basically, right?
It's a problem. Seems they're already racking up patients.
That's not a rest spot. Is that a rest spot?
Can we maybe train?
Okay.
Group chat first, right?
Let's recap. Injuries from local monsters, not enough medical supplies, more and more wounded, adding up over time. Can provide adequate care, so they've always had more patients coming in. Yeah, I've got a feeling they could deal with the staffing problem if they didn't also have the not enough stuff problem. You mean if they had, like, drugs and bandages? These kind of medical supplies are difficult to craft without specialized facilities. Well, we're in the arse end of nowhere, and therefore bang out of luck. Precisely. It's only a matter of time before all the supplies start running out. So what? We're up a creek with no paddle. We have to do something. Ah, hang on. No, that wouldn't... Or would it? Tyon, if you got something to say, then do, or by the Queen's motherfucking knuckles, I'll slap you. Yes, but... And again... What is the time? Did you come up with something? First of all, I have to say there's no guarantee. Spit it out, man. We can work out the kinks later. I hear you. Then let's leave this instant. You what? Oi! Where are we off to now? Galgo's Menia. If we're lucky, we might make it in time. Time for what? You're not making sense. So we have to get there. We have to go this instant. I'll explain when we get there. Or maybe on the way. Sure, let's go. Hero quest. Huh. What does that mean?
Hey, you lot! God!
What's
got
up,
a second?
Oliaris?
Oh.
It's the commander.
What's the commander?
Well, I haven't seen her for ages. Do you know where she is?
Who's the commander?
I don't think we've seen her.
I mean, we were just up there with you, where she was standing in her, like, command room, so...
Are you sure? You haven't seen her at all? Think very carefully.
Not since then, and you were with her at the time.
She wouldn't hesitate to die for the colony if it came down to it. She's so strong that she'll bear any burden alone, however heavy. Look, if anything would have happened to her, then... Colony 4, then... We'd be...
Okay. Calm down.
Ugh. Sorry. Got carried away.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Look, if you see her, just tell me, okay? Sorry to have kept you.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we're gonna help her in this? Probably. Assessing info fragments can further quests like issues calling for you just talked about. Geniac quest. When a quest is active, its destination will be marked on screen with a question, exclamation point. Press Y to view it. If you have no active quest, when the new one triggers, it will auto-activate. Otherwise, you can activate it with so-and-so. Got it.
Galgo's Menia is north of here.
Yeah. And we better hurry, right? Well then,
Okay.
no time like the present.
Indeed.